Hey there, my friends. This is Andy coming to you live from Orange County, California, and I've been looking forward to doing this particular training for my program, which is called live streaming using StreamYard, and it's because it just is a great way to take these live broadcasts and put them into a podcast. When I have been talking to entrepreneurs and authors and other authorities and experts that are trying to figure out how is it that I get my, my platform out there so people can see what I do and learn from me, and I want to do it in a way where I don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over again, and because you want to be able to repurpose something you do once. And then on top of it all, how can I automate it? How can I make it happen without me having to remember to do anything? And that's the case with people like that are like chiropractors and doctors and restaurateurs who, when we talk about doing, a live broadcast of some sort or some type of video, and then you start talking about, well, then you should probably also put it in some other social media. You should also create a podcast. You should also, and they go, wait a minute, whoa, I'm not a broadcaster. I'm a chiropractor. And I'm not this, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to keep continuing to create artwork and do all this other kind and editing video. Well, here is at least one thing you can do, and it can be all automated. This live broadcast, for instance, if I had a podcast that I was doing in relationship to this particular subject matter, I could take this live broadcast, and then when I'm done with it, have it automated so that it converts the video into an audio file. That audio file is then taken to a podcasting platform that creates an RSS feed that then sends it out to all the different podcasting platforms like Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and it would send it out all automatically. In other words, you would just have to do the live broadcast and end it, and everything else would happen in the background. That's what I'm about to show you. And it's going to be great. You're going to love it. The two tools that I'm going to be talking about that you may want to write down, but I do have them in the description. If you don't see them or they're not showing up for some reason, just in case, you're going to want to know, hold on, where's my fingers? Create podcast.live. We're going to be using something, a tool there called Captivate. But that is my unique URL that will send you there, and it will tell Captivate that I sent you. All right, so it's an affiliate link. And then over here, repurposevideonow.com is the same thing to a tool called Repurpose that will allow you to take a live broadcast and repurpose it. Create Podcasts will take you to Captivate, which is the platform that you need to get that RSS feed so that it sends it out to all those other podcasting platforms. Again, all of this kind of sounds Greek to people, again, that are, I'm a doctor. I'm a chiropractor. I'm a restaurateur. I'm a professional photographer. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not a broadcasting type of person. But in my program called AndyIsLive.com, I will show you how to very easily put up a live broadcast. And then using tools, much of this stuff can become automated for you. All right. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you a training video that I just created just seconds ago, and it's going to take you through those two tools. And now it's not going to completely train you in every aspect of it, but it's going to show you how these two tools work together and give you the basics. And all you have to do is set it up once. You set it up once, and every so often you may need to reconnect because of Facebook doing something or your podcasting platform doing something. But for the most part, you will not have to do anything after that. Everything will happen automatically for you, and that's what I love about it. Like me, I have children. 3 of them are in elementary school. 1 of them is in junior high, and 1 of them is a grown adult who lives somewhere else. But they all require my time. I just recently got married. I have a lot of other stuff going on. I need automation in my life. And so that's why I'm so happy to be able to share this with you and show you how this all can happen. My wife and I actually do a podcast in the morning. It's called Living Fearless Devotional. And it's a daily devotional that we do. And you can imagine doing one of those every day. It's about an hour long, that to have to take and then download the file, take out the audio file, then upload the automated or the audio file into the podcasting platform, and then typing in a bunch of information, and then putting it into the platform itself, and then submitting it. That's just extra time that I don't want to have to be taken. That's probably another 45 minutes of my time. Not only that, I have to remember to do it. And then over time, you will forget to do it. And then the podcast begins to die because you forget one day or the next, or you don't have anybody that'll do it for you. And again, this takes all those things out of your day that you just simply don't want to be doing. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get to the video. I'm going to bring it up. Let me get rid of this lower third. Again, we're going to be using two tools. Go to createpodcast.live. That'll take you to Captivate, and then repurposevideonow.com. That will take you to Repurpose. Two tools that you will need in order to do this. They're very low cost and well worth it. I am telling you, the very low cost that you're going to be paying for both those programs, it'll be well worth it. And you will see why as soon as I bring down this lower or this frame and then bring up the video and play for you the video that I just created, a training video on how to do these things. All right, here you go. All right, so we are going to use a couple tools here to create a podcast. And what's great about working with these two tools that I'm going to talk about right now together is that it automates the process from you doing your live broadcast, the live broadcast being automatically converted into an audio file, the audio file automatically being put into your podcast platform that will then be distributed through all the different podcast websites that are available on the internet that you have access to. And it's done as soon as you're done. It's done automatically as soon as you're done with your live broadcast. All right, but you got to use these two tools together. And I think you can use another one other one. But these two right now, I've used them. They work perfectly, and I couldn't be happier because anything that can be done automatically or can be done that can be automated is a blessing to all of us who have a lot of other things going on. I have 5 kids. 4 of them are still in school, 4 of them elementary, or 3 of them elementary and 1 in junior high. And I'm sharing that with you just to know that I need automation, right? Like all of you. We got other businesses around. We're not necessarily podcasters by trade, but we want to have a podcast and we want to repurpose our live broadcast so that we can get the best bang for our buck. If we're going to be doing live broadcast, why not have the whole system automated so that it then creates an audio file that gets automatically uploaded to your podcasting platform that will then automatically distribute it for you. Why not? All right, so let's go ahead and go to my screen. We're going to be using something called Captivate. And to get to Captivate, what I would like for you to do is go to createpodcast.live. Createpodcast.live. That will be my affiliate link that you are going to use to sign up. That would help me dearly, and I would appreciate that. But Captivate is the name of the platform that you will upload the audio file to, that will then create the RSS feed that you need that goes out to all the other platforms. All right, so here it is. Here is the current podcast that I have created. If I go down to episodes here on the left-hand side, it will show you that I have all these episodes. The one right here that I just did this morning on February 15th, 2021, at the time of this recording, was uploaded automatically using the other tool that I'm going to share with you, and that's called Repurpose. I will give you the URL for that. It's repurposevideonow.com, repurposevideonow.com. Don't worry about that right now. Let's concentrate on Captivate. I'm just going to share with you a little bit about Captivate. And right now what you're seeing is the episodes. They give you analytics. This is a brand new podcast, so it gives you the it's only been up for a couple days now, and already I have today we had 7 unique listeners, which is great. Yesterday with 8 unique listeners, 43 over the last 7 days, which is fantastic. Again, it hasn't even been up 7 days. It's only been up for like 3 days. And so this is good so far. All right, so why? And again, if you're asking the question, why would you create a podcast? Well, why not? Especially when you have 2 tools that do it for you automatically. And you have to do relatively nothing other than the early stages of setting everything up, which is pretty easy, which I'm going to show you how quick and easy you can do this. All right, so you're going to create an account in Captivate, which will give you all of these tools. It even gives you a website. So here's a website creation. You go here and you pick what your website wants to look like. Let me see if I have it up. Yeah, so there's, let me back. So here is the website that gets created, and you put in the artwork. right? It'll put in some other artwork in there for you, but then what you want to do is customize it and make sure it's branded. And that's our logo, and that's the tree that my wife and I got married under, which I use as the background. That's an oak tree in Chino Hills, California. And then here are all the episodes underneath. It gives you the opportunity to put in show notes if you want to put in show notes. I put in just a little bit of information there. Anyway, this is all done on Captivate. So, and I could go on but with more. But there again, there's so many tools that allow you to brand everything and make it look really nice. All right, so there's the dashboard again. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my shows, and right here on the right-hand side, you're just going to, you won't have a show, right? Because if you're doing this for the very first time to Captivate, you won't have anything in this area, and you're going to create your first show, and you just click on a button, and here it is. It does it all for you. I mean, it doesn't do it all for you. It gives you the templates, right? All you have to do is fill in all the blanks. So if we're going to create a new broadcast. And you can import an old broadcast. So I'm going to have to do that with some of my others because I really like Captivate. All right. So, and then here's where you give it a name, your name, author email address, and then the cover art. This is where you create your cover art. It has to be, what is it, 400 by 400, I think. It could be 300 by 300. Now, it's not going to let me click on some of this other stuff because I have to fill in these areas first. And so, of course, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I'm here to tell you that it's super easy. All right. What you're going to end up getting is an RSS. Look up here at the top. See where it says copy RSS feed URL? That's where you would click. So if I go back to my original show here, so this show here, and this show exists. So if I go to copy RSS feed, it copies it to the clipboard, and now you can paste it. So if I go here to show you right here, if you see here, this is the RSS feed right here for my show. Now that is the thing that you need when you're going to begin to use the next tool. All right, so you're going to go into Captivate, you're going to create your show, you're going to get an RSS feed. That's all you really need to know from what I'm teaching you right now. All the other stuff, come back to my camera. All the other stuff is easy. All you need to do is fill in the blanks. You're going to go to something probably like Canva to create your artwork of 300 by 300 or 400 by 400. I can't remember exactly what it is. You're going to create that. All you do is plug in those numbers into Canva. You're going to create your artwork, or you can have somebody do it on Fiverr or Guru.com. Somebody will create that artwork for you if you want to, or you can do it yourself. And all of that is self-explanatory as you go through the thing. So let's go back to my screen here. So you're going to get that RSS feed. The other tool that I just mentioned is called Repurpose. You're going to get there by going to repurposevideo.now. And what this is, and I've talked about it in the other training videos in my Going Live Using StreamYard training program. And so I've talked about Repurpose before. Repurpose allows you to repurpose your live programming so that you can use it in other ways. And that is either snippets, where it's like short little versions, video versions of your broadcast, so you can advertise on Instagram or on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever other social media platform that you may desire. And so you can do that. It'll download it, your live broadcast, to your Dropbox. It will, let's see, let me click on this down. So it could go to a video podcast. It can go to an audio podcast, Facebook, and repurpose on Facebook. It can go to Google Drive, SoundCloud, Dropbox, YouTube, Twitter, Libsyn, Binge, LinkedIn, and Zoom is an input for coming in to repurpose. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But what I want to focus on right now is creating that podcast. So once you have a Captivate RSS feed URL, you're going to go down here at the bottom where it says Captivate.fm output. And you are then going to add the connection. And I already have, I have to upgrade. So I already have a Captivate podcast. So this is where something would pop up for me to put the RSS feed in there. All right. So come back to my camera. So you're going to put that RSS feed in there, which is going to create what is called a connection. All right. A connection from your Facebook Live. And so now that connection's made in Repurpose. I know this may seem a little Greek to you, but I'm telling you, it's super easy. It's as simple as what it is I'm doing here, other than I can't show you because I already have a podcast through Captivate and would need to upgrade to another podcast. So back to my screen. So once you have that connection made, you're going to go to Workflow, and it'll move over here. And now you're going to create a new repurpose workflow. You can see I have a lot of workflows. You can see that I love repurpose for a lot of reasons because it does so many things automatically for me, and I can repurpose things so easily. So needless to say, by all the connections that you see here or workflows that you see here, I use it a lot on all of my different live broadcasting that I do. So right here, you see at the very top, Living Fearless Devotional Podcast. The input is Facebook. So my Facebook Live is here. You can see it changes the video into an audio, and then the output is to Captivate. The connection is Captivate here. The status is green, meaning it's working, and I have it on auto. What does auto mean? Auto means that it's automatically taking my live broadcast and uploading the live broadcast in an audio file to my podcast. In settings here, you might be able to see some of the things. And what I want to show you here is something that, again, I don't want this to blow your mind or make you think that it's very difficult to understand. But because I do so many live broadcasts on my Facebook pages, I don't necessarily want all of my lives to be made into a podcast. So the podcast that I want, the devotional podcast that I want uploaded to my Captivate podcasting platform, is going to be given a unique hashtag. So you see here where it says hashtag Jesus. When I use that hashtag in setting up the broadcast using StreamYard, in the StreamYard you use a title and then a description. In the description, when I put the hashtag Jesus, that means that I'm telling Repurpose to only use this broadcast because it has that hashtag to import the video and that contains the specific hashtag and convert it into the audio file. So only the live broadcast that I have with this hashtag Jesus, will be then converted over to an audio file and then uploaded to Captivate. And I have that box checked. And again, I put it on automate so it does it automatically. All right. So automatically, here back to my screen on this area where it says automatically. And then right here, if I go to view videos, you can see that only these videos right here, because they have the hashtag Jesus, are listed here. Let me go back and show you the proof. So the very same Facebook page where I do other Facebook Live videos, if I go there in the Andy Falco Show, you're going to see all of the videos that are on that particular page. All of these videos are on that page, but only the ones that have the hashtag, which here is a devotional, here's a devotional, here's a devotional, right? These I don't have that designation for only the hashtag. I have upload all videos from this Facebook page. But if I go back to workflows and go to the one that has the hashtag and show you the videos, only the ones that have the hashtag, which are only these, are being uploaded to Captivate. All right, hope that all makes sense. And it just makes everything easy. And again, I have it automated so it does it automatically. So when I come back to Captivate and show you the episodes, this one this morning, 37, is one that was automatically published. And let's see if it's had time. I don't know if it's had time to be put into, let's go to Amazon. Here's the Amazon pub. Oh, here it is. And there it is automatically. I didn't do anything. Here it is already listed as the one today. It's 1 hour and 13 minutes long, which is a pretty long one. I usually don't go that long, but well, I guess I do when you look down. Strangely enough. But yeah, here's the one that Hedia, my wife, and I did this morning, and it's already listed here on the Amazon Music podcast. Now, this is, again, where Captivate is sending my podcast out to these platforms. Amazon Music is one of them. Spotify is one. Apple Podcast is another one. So if I go to Apple Podcast, you'll see here. Let me see if I can. How do I go there? Oh, I'm already there. So this one has not updated yet. Let me see. Actually, I'm going to back out and then come back in and see what it does. There's no way to refresh the screen here on this Apple Podcast. Did I misspell something? Hold on. There it is. I must have typed it wrong. And this is, again, Apple Podcasts that I'm sharing with you. Oh, there it is. And there it is, the number 37. This was today. So again, automatically, I did my live video. Repurpose automatically recognized the hashtag Jesus and then converted my live broadcast into a video file and then uploaded it to Captivate, and then Captivate distributed it to all of the different platforms that my podcast is currently being hosted on. So here, if I hit the play button, it'll take a second for it to begin playing the intro countdown. Let's see. There it is. Oh, here we go.
For I don't know if you do that, or talk about what it is that you are grateful for at dinner time, just on a regular dinner, every so often, maybe on a week.
There you go. And that was the live broadcast. All right, let's come back to my camera. So I hope that made sense. It's about as good a job as I can do, because using two different things and using some words that may be Greek to you if you're just getting into this particular area of doing live broadcasting and considering doing a podcast. Some of these words may be unique to you. I tried to make sure and not use too many geek words. But in some cases, it's unavoidable. And so once again, using two tools. Captivate, which is a web-based program, which is on the internet, right? I go there and I create a podcast. It'll give me an RSS feed URL, unique RSS feed URL. I then take that RSS unique URL to Repurpose and plug it in where it says Captivate in the drop-down menu. It'll ask for the RSS number. You put it in there and you hit submit or you hit enter. I can't remember which one. And now it creates that connection. You then go to a workflow, and then you create the workflow. Take your Facebook Live videos to Captivate audio format. It'll ask you what do you want to do, and you'll say audio format, and then you're going to, if you want to, you don't have to. You can have all of your live broadcasting automatically uploaded to Captivate, so you just put on automate, and you don't need to do anything else. But if you have other videos that you put on there, live broadcasts that aren't necessarily podcast worthy. Maybe you're not using your mic on some things. Maybe you're using your phone as opposed to a professional system like maybe what I have back there. What have you. There could be a number of reasons why you don't want all of your live broadcast to go up onto your podcast. Then in that case, you're going to want to use the hashtag automated portion feature of Repurpose, and you're going to create a unique hashtag that you use only when you want a broadcast to be uploaded to that podcast. And super simple. After that, you don't have to do anything. After that, you're going to do your live broadcast. You'll finish your live broadcast, and then in the background with you while you're having your coffee, while you're driving somewhere, while you're playing with the kids, Repurpose is doing everything in the background for you. It takes the live broadcast, converts it into an audio file, it uploads it to Captivate, and then Captivate then distributes it out to all the different podcasting platforms, and you have to do nothing. And it's done on that day. And that's what makes it amazing. All right. So I hope this has been helpful for you. These are two great tools that I love, and I love promoting them. Please use my unique URLs, which is repurposevideonow.com, repurposevideonow.com for Repurpose. And for Captivate, you're going to use createpodcast.live, createpodcast.live. Put those into your browser, and that will give me credit for sending you there, and that would be appreciated by me. All right. I love you guys. Take care, and I will see you at the next video. Bye. All right, there we go. And I know I'm sorry that I gave a longer description than I probably should have, because the same thing that I told you on the live part of this particular live broadcast, I repeated again in the video. Sorry about that. And so there you go. A great way to repurpose your live broadcasting to a podcast. And I can tell you from experience that when I've had, and I have if you type in Andy Falco Jimenez in, say, iHeartRadio or Spotify, you'll see a number of different podcasts come up. The one thing that is very difficult, and if you've been doing this for a while and you've created podcasts, the one difficult thing is to continually put up those audio files and have a consistency in your schedule. The good news with at least the devotional podcast that I use as a demonstration is that we try to do those as close to 9 o'clock every morning, every day. We're pretty good about it. And I would say at least 5 days a week. And then now having this automation in there, it just automatically puts up in the podcast, which when you're building an audience, that's really important. An audience wants to know when your podcast is coming up. There's a couple people I follow that have a podcast, and I want to listen to them just about every day. And when I know that they typically upload their podcast at about that time, I'm clicking to see if it's up yet. And when it's not, then I could forget. And then for whatever reason, then for a couple of days, I stop listening, and you get out of this habit. And what it is, you want to make sure in the podcast world, the best thing you can do is be consistent in the times and the days that you are putting those things up. That way people stay engaged and want the next episode and listen for it and begin to tell people about it. And your consistency is really one of those things for a podcast, I think, is one of the most important things you could do. All right. So I hope all this has been helpful. The video that you saw is actually in my training for doing live broadcasts and how to use them and repurpose them. And that is called live streaming using StreamYard. And you get there by going to andyislive.com. andyislive.com, which is that one right there. andyislive.com is where you'll go. It's 3 levels of that particular training. You have basic, intermediate, and advanced. Basic, you just get your phone and you go live, and I have some really cool training as to how you can just simply get started doing live broadcasting. And then intermediate, add some bells and whistle to it, and then the advanced is how to then create a podcast and some of those other things. So the video you saw will actually be living in the training program. So go to andyislive.com if you want to begin learning how to do your own live broadcasting and then automate much of what it is you do so you can repurpose it. All right, that's it for me. I hope that this has been helpful to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. All right, my friends, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.